This was the perfect meal. I can't stop eating it. It's so good. We have our first official snow day here in New York, and what is better than after being outside and shoveling snow all day than to come into a bowl of beef stew. That's what we're making today, so let's get started. In my bowl, I have 3 pounds of chuck roast that I cubed up and put in this bowl. Some all-purpose flour, but first we want to season the flour. 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of onion powder, about a tablespoon of black pepper, 2 tablespoons of salt. You want to heavily salt your flour. It's flour, it has no taste, and you want to make sure that your meat is well seasoned. So then we're just going to mix this up in the bowl before we pour it over our meat. Now, I don't know about you, but I live in the Hudson Valley area of New York, and I didn't grow up here. I grew up in Queens, and we didn't have snow days like this. When I moved here, I was not used to the amount of snow that we get here. And so when school closes at the drop of a dime because the thought of snow is about to happen is just crazy to me. I think in my whole educational career, I've had maybe 3 snow days. Now we're all mixed up, so now we're just gonna pour this over our meat, sprinkle it over. I think that's good. And now we're just gonna toss it around. You just want to make sure you're good and coated. We're going to need the rest of that. Okay, so now that our meat is good and tossed in the flour, we're going to go over to the stove and we're going to start searing this off in batches. Come with me. So in my pot, I have it heating here, and I'm just going to put some extra virgin olive oil on the bottom, and you want to coat the bottom of the pan. We have a lot of meat to fry up here, so I'd say about a 1/2 inch of oil. Okay, so once your oil is good and hot, we're just going to add this meat in batches. Can you hear the sizzle? That's what you want. You want the oil and the pot to be good and hot, because we're just searing this. We're not cooking it all the way through. Okay, so once you have a nice sear on all your meat, I mean, look at that. Can you see? That's the color you're looking for, nice and caramelized. So now we're going to start building the broth part of our stew. First, we're going to give it a few good glugs of some Worcestershire sauce, maybe 3 times around the pot. And then we're going to go in with some balsamic glaze. This is the secret ingredient to my beef stew. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons of it. That's going to give the base of your stew a sweetness, but it's also going to help tenderize the meat because of the acid in the balsamic vinegar. I mean, look at that. It's gorgeous already. Garlic, onion, celery, and carrots. Get that all in there. Now we're going to hit that with some salt and pepper. Remember, you want to season as you go. Season in layers. 2 bay leaves and 2 tablespoons of dried parsley. That beauty. That's a pot of goodness right there. So I'm going to add in a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes, 12 cups of beef broth. Okay, we have all our beef broth and all our liquids in there. So we're going to bring this to a boil. And then once it's at a boil, we're going to lower it to a simmer. And literally, we're going to let it simmer for about 3 hours. Okay, so our beef stew has been going for 3.5 hours now, and it looks delicious. Let me show you. I forgot to tell you earlier, I put in a nice wedge of my Parmigiano Reggiano rind, and it's been going with the stew all day. Let's give it a taste. So I made a side of what my mother used to call buttered noodles. Right? When we were growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, so buttered noodles was a side dish. But I like to serve my beef stew over buttered noodles. Give her a taste. I'm so excited. Oh my God, the meat is just fall apart tender. That's from it going for 3.5 hours. I'm just trying to get a little bit of everything in one bite. Carrot. That is so, so good. So comforting and warming on this cold, snowy day. This was the perfect meal. I can't stop eating it. It's so good. If you want the recipe to my beef stew, just comment recipe down below and I'll make sure I can send it to your DM. Thanks so much for watching.